that's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Flash Gordon, that infamous space opera directed by Mike Hodges, which received a beautiful and loving 4K restoration courtesy of Arrow Video, which was released on August 18th, 2020. A nice 2-disc set with a little booklet and a poster included.
I, as a kid, heard about Flash, like that name sounded familiar. I don't know if I thought it was a cartoon or a TV series.
Well, it was a cartoon strip from the 30s originally. That was created as competition for Buck Rogers.
This film stars
Sam J. Jones as
Flash Gordon,
a titular hero who looks like an Aryan Bruce Jenner.
And then who's Ming?
Oh, Ming. Ming is Max von Sydow, rest in peace, who just died, the famous Bergman actor from Extra. Tons and tons of stuff. My favorite part of it. Emperor Ming of Mongo.
And who directed this?
Mike Hodges, which, let me know when I can talk about him.
You can talk about him now.
Oh, okay. Mike Hodges, I feel, has never really gotten his due. Of course, his debut...
Like Little Richard?
Yeah, like poor Little Richard.
Or Tamar Braxton?
If only he had come out. Mike Hodges had one of the most successful, iconic directorial debuts ever with Get Carter in 1971, which of course was remade with Sly Stallone in 2000. And then he kind of ruined the goodwill he had established with that with his follow-up, which is Pulp, also starring Michael Caine, and the last film of Elizabeth Scott, which everybody hated. And Arrow Video has also restored recently in the past couple of years. And his Terminal Man, which he did after that. And I think he had some difficulty reestablishing himself after that, which we have the very troubled production of the Dino De Laurentiis produced Flash Gordon. He had another opportunity in the late 80s. He had A Prayer Before Dying with Mickey Rourke and Black Rainbow, which I just watched the other night because Arrow Video has also recently restored that, and I loved it. One of the creepiest movies about a medium starring Rosanna Arquette and Jason Robards. That movie got fucked up in its distribution because I believe it got released in the UK, but in the US, whoever had it, I don't remember who, sent a direct-to-video, so it actually never got a theatrical release here. And then in the late 90s, early 2000s, he kind of had to come back again with 2 Clive Owen films, Croupier and I'll Sleep When I'm Dead. But for the most part, his films, I think I would call him an auteur. This film is not an example of that. In fact, I think this is very similar to Peter Yates doing Krull in 1983, which is also a beautiful, terrible film.
So, why don't you describe the plot of Flash Gordon?
So, Sam J. Jones plays Flash Gordon, who is a football player for the New York Jets. Before we're even introduced to him, we get General Ming of Mongo, who's fucking with Earth by causing natural disasters, which we are clued into because he has all these buttons in his spaceship that say hot hail and hurricanes, and he's causing all these
typhoon, earthquake.
So he happens to make some hot hail rain down as Flash gets on an airplane with a travel agent, Dale Arden, played by Melody Anderson, and then they crash land into a greenhouse where Dr. Hans Zarkov resides, played by Topol, who is very over the top. Topol, of course, from Fiddler on the Roof.
Of course.
Topol has created this. He believes that there's somebody up there that's driving the Earth closer to the moon, and he has a mechanism that his assistant refuses to get in. A scuffle ensues, and he tricks Flash and Dale into getting in, and they shoot up there to Mongo, and then are apprehended, of course, by Ming.
And then,
oh god, it's a very convoluted.
Well,
plot.
don't tell. Just tell the. So they.
Well, they try to brainwash Hans Zarkov. Ornella Muti, who's kind of like a space slut, plays Princess Aura, who's the daughter of Ming, and she's attracted to Flash, and she allows him to escape to the realm of Prince Barin, played by Timothy Dalton, who's also her lover, who doesn't like Flash. They don't get along. Dale is marked to be married to Ming, although he seems like this flamboyant old queen, and They, what happens after that? I don't. There's the.
How does it end?
They defeat Ming. There's also like Prince Vultan, who's like they're like the flying monkeys. This film is very Star Wars meets Wizard of Oz and kind of a bad ripoff of both. There's Peter Wyngarde as Klytus, who's got that great fucking voice but wears that mask. That he's the one that's charged with brainwashing Zarkov, and then Mariangela Melato, who is a favorite of mine as well, is Kala, who's also just this. She just does bad things for Ming.
What's the end of the film?
They stop. Earth is about to be. He's gonna destroy Earth, and they destroy Ming first, and it's just Flash screaming into the camera, "Yeah!"
Great.
And I think that's it. Oh, and then Richard O'Brien is, from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yes, master. Is Fico.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So there's some interesting people in it.
I did watch this movie. My two adjectives for it would be extravagant and boring.
Queen created,
The soundtrack.
a song.
There's more than one Queen song.
I think there's more than one. I don't know, but they all sound.
So this film is not what I thought it would be. When I saw it was a space opera, for some reason I thought it was going to be like Tommy, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
I guess I assumed it was like a musical. But it's not. So the restoration is beautiful. It looks great. It's a very vibrant, colorful film. A lot of care and effort was taken into the aesthetic of this film. But that's it. It looks so much more fun than it is.
I agree. There are so many practical effects that are wasted in these one-off moments.
My biggest issue would be the casting of Flash Gordon.
Oh.
That man is... You said that Kurt Russell was...
Kurt Russell passed on it.
He would have been perfect, but the guy who does play Flash Gordon looks so smarmy and... First of all, the first time we see Flash Gordon without a shirt on, wearing like these little booty shorts, I thought that was like a 46-year-old man. And really the actor's like 26.
Yeah.
So he just seems out of place. That blonde hair is so bad. It's so fake.
Which, to be fair, they were doing that to look like
sure,
that. But then they should have.
But they could have cast someone a little more charismatic, a little more appealing. Because the way this character looks, the actor, I thought it was going to be like a campy, fun movie.
Well, it does have a considerable cult following because it failed to achieve.
Right, but it's not a fun movie. It just kind of looks like a spectacle, but then it just. I had a very difficult time staying engaged. Obviously.
It is. Well, Dino De Laurentiis, I think, is the problem with that because he also arguably ruined that King Kong version with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange, and also Dune, the failed David Lynch production of. I think it's a De Laurentiis problem. It was shot by Gil Taylor, who shot the original Star Wars for George Lucas and The Omen and Repulsion. The look of the film is fine. The production design is interesting because I think this is somewhere between like The Wiz and The Hunger Games as far as like Ming's court goes.
Also Ming. That costuming and that makeup is so raggedy. Like for all the effort they put into this film, and then it looks like at the last 5 minutes before they shot his first scene, they were like, "Someone grab some eyeliner and like just."
But Max von Sydow is so bitchy and fun in it, and he has all the best lines. I thought.
I would agree with that.
This is the first time I've seen this film, but I'm familiar with Ming because back when I used to just wear the goatee with a mustache, I've had a couple homosexual men try to tell me disparagingly that I looked like the villain from Flash Gordon, which once I realized it was Max von Sydow, of course, I take that to be a compliment. But
I can't really think of a scenario where this would be like a fun viewing. Like even if there were friends and alcohol.
Oh yeah, I think people and booze definitely helps. Yeah.
I don't know.
A young Robbie Coltrane I spied at the very beginning of it, who I think is also in Krull. He's doing something with the plane at the very beginning. It's just a second. The way like the Space Maidens seem to me and there's this bitchy cap fight between Melody Anderson and Ornella Muti in that gold lame bedroom, which is kind of fun. Remember Queen of Outer Space with Zsa Zsa Gabor?
Yes. That's a fun movie.
But this is very much in line with that.
Well, but I think that movie kind of... That movie doesn't really take itself that seriously.
No.
Like Zsa Zsa Gabor's taking herself seriously, and that's what's fun about it. But it's ridiculous.
That's true, but that was
I enjoyed that film much more than this.
sure. But for a film versus the 50s versus 1980 and the presentation of women in a futuristic space environment is still very archaic. And I don't know, just Topol. And I just, all the fun names, though, Phrygia and I don't know. Oh, what's his name that played Brian Blessard, who played Prince Vultan, was so over the top. Who I don't know anything about that actor other than that he looked like Jason Alexander and was playing, like he's probably some Shakespearean theatrical actor that got shoehorned into this role and just shouting all his lines.
What would you give this movie?
1 out of 5.
Oh.
It's not good. It's hard to sit through.
You were talking about it like more forgiving than I am. I was going to give it 1.5 out of 5.
Well, this is one of those films we're talking about is probably more fun than the film.
Sure.
Which, that said, as is the want of Arrow Video, the restoration is great.
It is.
I love the presentation. There's a whole disc of extra features, and the booklet is a lot of fun to read through too. So it's a 1 out of 5 star film, but the presentation in this disc set is 4 out of 5.
All right. Bye.
Bye.